welcome to another episode of the Unplug
Back
Podcast. Unplug Podcast. Episode 5, numero 5. Back in action, still going, full swing.
Yeah, firstly, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has liked, shared, subscribed to the channel. Obviously, we're new, so the more love you show, it helps. I've seen people put up things on their status, people repost stuff.
Yep.
So the love is really appreciated.
100%.
If you are loving the podcast, even as a bit of encouragement for us,
Honestly,
subscribe.
please.
Leave a comment. Something we said that resonated with you, drop a comment. We're on IG, we're on
Everywhere.
Spotify.
Your mum's back garden.
Yeah. We are everywhere. So yeah,
Everywhere.
If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe, comment, get following. It all helps. It means a lot.
Definitely. My bro, how's your week been?
Do you know what? It's been good.
Yeah?
It's been good. I just come back from Spain.
Again.
Again. It's needed. It's needed. Funny enough, it leads into this topic quite nice.
Yeah, go on.
Taking care of yourself is important.
Where did we go?
Went to Spain.
We're in Spain.
A place called Murcia, a little quiet town.
Nice.
A lot of retired English people there.
Okay. Manifesting.
Yeah, why not? And just, Spain somewhere that it's not too expensive to go and the weather's generally quite nice all year round. So came up from Spain. But I find that whenever I go away, when I come back, it's just 120 miles per hour. And I just feel like since I've got back, I haven't stopped. And I just feel, it's been a crazy one. What about yourself? What have you been up to?
Not much. We're in the process of taking on another unit, so that's always fun. But we've offset a lot of it to like third-party company as well,
Nice.
like in terms of like the setup and whatnot. So that's allowed it to be a bit more seamless and sort of bringing in some business with that. So I've been quite occupied with that. Also as well, doing a lot of knowledge finding and research into sort of like the mentor space and the coaching space as well. And that's something that we're both doing actually. So getting ready for that, getting really, really excited for that. And I know I said a couple of episodes ago, but just really, really excited for 2025.
I remember you said.
Really, really excited for 2025.
Don't wish your life away though. Don't be there.
No.
Don't be there.
I'm just really, really excited for 2025. My 2025 has already started, frankly.
Them ones.
You know what I mean? So I'm just ready, I'm pumped, I'm excited. So I'm just gearing everything I need to do to sort of be up and ready and prepared to just sort of take next year.
Yeah, I think it was our last. It was about goal setting. So you set yourself some goals. 2024. How are we looking?
We're looking on par.
Okay,
We're looking
cool.
on par. We're looking on par. Not quite where we need to be.
That's
exactly.
Right. There's still 2 months left.
Still a bit of time left. So not quite on par. But yeah, we're on par. We're on one route. But obviously, as always, I'm sure all your plans. There's always a snag here and there. But such is life. But we're on track to do what we need to do. But yeah, nonetheless. But a few have already been hit anyway.
Cool.
So
Cool. All right, guys. Today's episode is about self-care. And we just want to kind of talk about what self-care means to both of us. We want to talk about the importance of self-care. We want to talk about what happens if you don't, show yourself self-care. And some steps, as always, some practical steps on how to implement some of this stuff. It's all good us talking about it, but if you can't kind of see yourself executing it or it's not resonating with you, you want to try and break it down as best as we can. So, self-care. What does self-care mean to you, my man?
To me and self-care have always been in a bit of back and forth relationship. I've always been quite hard on myself naturally, but I feel like definitely as I've progressed in my journey, I know that it's essential. And my personal definition of self-care is a form of recharging your social, physical, spiritual, body batteries. And just taking time and just disconnecting from whatever it is you do, whether it be society, your work, your job, your relationship, wherever it may be, and take time to just recharge. And give that time back to yourself for you to then be able to go in again. So that's kind of like my definition. So just sort of recharging your batteries, taking some time for yourself, breaking away from all this going around in the background of the world and just having some me time. And obviously, we can probably deliberate a bit what me time looks like. But yeah, that's
cool. No, I like that. Nice. For me, self-care is about just loving yourself. I feel it's about kind of, and a lot of us will find this hard to do because we've got, partners, we've got kids and stuff, but loving yourself first and doing what you need to do for you, I think it's so important. I think a lot of times we get caught up in we need to do that for that person, we need to do that for that person, and we forget about ourselves. And yeah, just my definition would be just loving yourself and putting yourself first when you need to.
Yeah.
There's going to be times where you can maybe be, a bit selfless, and there's times where you need to be selfish ultimately for your own sort of good and mental health and things like that. So yeah,
that's really good. Now, obviously, what was about practical steps, right? So, what would you say are some of the disadvantages of not
demonstrating self-care?
Yeah.
I think it's hard for you to be, we talk about your highest version of yourself if you're not looking after yourself, right? So if you're not demonstrating self-care, you're not being your best self, which means other people are not getting the best version of you, right? So in order for you, what's that saying? You can't pour from an empty cup.
Yes, of course.
So if you're feeling like crap and you're feeling rubbish and you're feeling run down and you're just not, morale's low, your mental health, how can you now be any good to your business partner, your partner, your wife, your husband, your kids? So I feel, you're not able to, your energy is low, your energy is off, and other people will start to feel that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the biggest thing for me is if you're not able to demonstrate self-care and love yourself, then how can, you love anyone else or give that positive energy off?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I think even Jim Rohns says it as well. He says, I need to take care of me to be able to take care of you.
Well, there you go.
So, and just sort of echoing your point, it's like, I don't think there's even much more I can add to that. Like, you're not going to be able to give the highest version of yourself or the best version of yourself to anyone else if you're not even at your highest rate or your highest form. So yeah, I think that's definitely like a big disadvantage. But then again, what like the positives now? What would you say like one of the
positives?
Big positives
just now? When you feel good about yourself, you just naturally feel good. And I think self-care and self-love is a way to show yourself that you love yourself. I'm going to look after me. So I'm going to do all the things that I want to do that make me feel good. It could be, going to get your hair cut. How much times have you gone to how much times have you gone to the barber, had a fresh trim, got out of the chair and felt like $1 million, feel like you was ready for the world? That's a form of self-care in my personal opinion.
Yeah, no,
it could be going to get your hair done, your nails done, going for that spa day. I'm showing I love myself and I need to look after myself and I need to make myself feel good. And once you feel good, you have a certain energy and aura about you that naturally you give off positive energy, and once you're giving off positive, if I give off positive energy to you, how can you not reciprocate it? Do you know what I mean? How can you not? It's just natural. You give it off, you're going to get it back. So I feel a massive benefit is of, showing yourself care. You just feel like a better person. Your energy's right. You feel good. People see that. You're a pleasure to be around.
Yeah.
You're positive. You're optimistic, and you can uplift other people.
Yeah, no,
so
there
for
can
me,
definitely be a domino effect of that as well. I think for me, in regards to some of the examples of self-care or even definitely the positives is like you said, it's just, and sometimes it can also contradictory feel quite selfish as well. It's like you sort of breaking away and having that time for yourself. So imagine, especially if you're like, you're part of a family or your mum or your dad and you've got your little ones and etc. It can feel quite selfish at times, but it's definitely needed, as we said, to be able to provide and have the highest version of yourself. And I really like what you said, and I think a lot of people should resonate and echo much on this, is like loving yourself. How often do we talk about loving yourself? There's always like, you love someone else or you have love for this person. But what about yourself?
How do you show yourself love?
You see what I'm saying? It was you first before anyone else, right? So I think that's like a big thing. And yeah, I feel like anyone like just that's listening or watching this should hopefully like, to take anything from this, like, definitely just love yourself.
Yeah.
Loving yourself can go a long way.
Yeah. And in order to do, sometimes, the word selfish is seen as a very negative and not a good thing. But I feel sometimes you do have to be selfish.
Yeah,
you do sometimes have to put yourself first. As you know, I like to travel a lot and I travel, a lot by myself. People say to me, you got kids, you got family. Like, how are you able, like, traveling all the time? I'm like, I need to. I need to. This is a point where I need to be selfish for me. And it's not because I'm just going to go off and have fun. I just need to reset. I need some me time, some self-care and self-love time where I can just go away for a few days, chill out, relax, get some vitamin D, read a book and just think.
Yeah.
Kind of go into mindful mode and stuff like that. So sometimes I feel yeah, in order to love yourself, you have to be a bit selfish. You have to put yourself first and do what's right for you. And I'm not saying all the time, because there are times where, like I said, you might have to be a bit selfless and put other people, but don't forget to show yourself love. It's important.
Yeah, no, I completely and
important.
utterly agree with you. What would you say like some examples of like self-love and self-care?
Self-love. Like I said, for me, one of the way I can only talk from experience and talk my how I like to show myself a bit of self-care and love is grooming. I take my grooming very seriously.
I can tell.
You know, well, literally just got out of the chair. Shout out to my barber. Yeah, just I like to, you know, cut my hair, and once I look or feel I look good, I feel good naturally. So going to get my hair cut, going to the gym, sitting in the sauna for 10 minutes, just doing what I want to do away. And I think sometimes your self-love could be you just spending time with yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
like if you're showing someone love, you're like a lot of the time going to be with that person.
Yeah.
So I found a lot of my self-love and self-care is just me being by myself. So yeah, going to the, you know, gym and sitting in the spa for a little while and just, like I said, traveling and just doing things that I don't. And it's so funny. I'm sat and I'm thinking I should be doing more self-love. I should be able to reel you off like 100 things, and it just goes to show.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just forget ourselves. We forget to love ourselves and do things for ourselves. But we need to remember it's important, man. What about yourself?
I think for me, my biggest form of self-love is like going to the movies by myself. I'm a big movie guy. Like I would just be like, I've just had a long day. Let me just go to cinema like 11 p.m. at night, and just go watch a random movie, even like a Hindi movie, whatever. Just reading subtitles. I like that cinematic feel.
Yeah.
I like being by myself and just watching it all in the sort of the dark theatre room. So like that's like one big thing that I always kind of give to myself, especially if I've had like a long or stressful day. It's like I just need something for me. I'm also a big foodie as well, but obviously kind of trying to match that with the diet, it can be a bit tougher at times. But yeah, definitely going to the cinema for me, a bit like you said, like going to the spa as well, going to the sauna or the steam room and just being with your thoughts. Being with your thoughts and just being alone and just trying to absorb all that sort of positive aspects and attributes of yourself and just try to utilize that and give that energy back into anything you're working with or anyone that you're with as well. And also reading as well. I've been getting into my reading bag as of recently as well. So just a bit of late night reading. I just love how I can just get lost in a book sometimes. I hate reading. Hate reading. But then again, it's in the almanac, he says you need to learn how to love reading and read what you love to read.
Yes.
And I think I was never ever reading anything I loved or was remotely interested in at all, you know. And it doesn't always have to be like business. It could be sci-fi fiction, romance, comedies, whatever.
You're interested
like right now I'm reading simultaneously I'm reading a Nigerian murder mystery comedy. So like it's absolutely jokes. I can't remember the name, but you know we'll show up a little animation of what it looks like so you can give it a read yourself as well. But it's just like getting lost in reading and just being by myself and just enjoying my own company. You know?
Do you know what's interesting? The minute you started talking about it, I just saw your face light up. Yeah. Like you were so excited about it. Like you're smiling, you feel good. You're doing something that you want to do for you, not because someone wants you to do something. And that's probably, we could throw that in there as a definition of self-love. So doing what you want to do. How much times in a day do we actually get to do what we want to do?
Literally.
Probably not that much.
Literally.
So that there's a lesson in there, guys. Start adding things to your day where you're doing what you want to do. And I appreciate, you know, there's people out there with kids and kids can take up a lot of your time, but adopting the habit of just today, for an hour, I'm going to do something for me. It makes such a big difference. Literally. Such a big difference. But yeah, sorry. The way you just lit up there, bro, I had to like,
no,
you lit me up there.
No, definitely not. Like it's good. It's good. And it needs to be part of it as well. And even adding on to what you said, I feel like if just once a day, you know, you can say every single day, once a day, what is just one thing that you can do just for yourself? And especially like you can even imagine the type of businesses we run, where like we're middle and we're always like serving other people. We have clients, we have customers. We're always like kind of serving other people. What do you want? What do you like? How would you like it? What are your requirements? When do you want this to be done? So as in for us, it's like what do I want? When do I want that? So like maybe like just try, even if not once a day, once a week, just do something for yourself. And it doesn't need to be fancy. It doesn't need to, you know, it could be doing your nails, getting your hair cut, going for a walk, reading a book,
just anything
going for a
for
swim.
you.
I know people that
Anything
just
for
love
you.
swimming, just do laps and laps of just swimming. So wherever that may be, yeah, just like you said, just do anything for you.
I think that could be a good step too. We'll come. I think
Yeah.
I've got step one right here.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, obviously, as you know, we're always about practical steps. So, what is the first step out of 3 that we can give someone in regards to sort of self-caring and self-loving themselves?
My first step is going to be realizing and understanding that it's okay to be selfish sometimes. And it doesn't have to. Like I said, the word selfish is seen as a negative word and associated with negativity. But when it comes to yourself, it shouldn't be. We need to kind of reverse that. So I think step 1, understand that it's okay to be selfish sometimes. It's okay to put yourself first in certain situations. And once you've kind of accepted that and you start to feel okay with that, then you can now start implementing the self-care. So I feel that really has to be a step 1, just understanding I'm okay with being selfish. I'm okay loving myself. I'm okay showing myself self-care. Because if I don't, who will?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
No,
I don't think I could even add anything to that. I think, definitely, step 1 is definitely being selfish. Because I think that's the firm of just so the first step of just identifying that. And you probably identify at a point where you just feel depleted, right? I just can't give anything out now, right? You just think of your body as like a vessel in a car, right? For a car to move from A to B, it needs petrol. Let's call that petrol self-love. And if there's no self-love, no petrol in your car, you can't go anywhere.
Love that.
You know what I mean? You can't go anywhere. So we need to fill in ourselves with self-love to be able to move from A to B. So and I think definitely the first step is probably when you realise, flipping out, I got no more fuel in the tank.
Literally, like the car's not moving.
You know what I mean? And no one's going to help me move it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, the first step is definitely identifying and just being selfish and taking that time for yourself. And also understanding what different aspects of self-love we can get to. But that's probably step 2. So what do you reckon a good practical step 2 could be?
Yeah, practical step 2 could be just, like you said, which I felt was probably going to be a good step 2, is actually, let me go back. Step 2 would be discovering what self-care and self-love means to you. So for different people, it's going to mean different things. For me and you, it could be sat reading a book and getting lost in the book. Not everyone's into reading. So identifying what makes you tick. What is a good way for you to show yourself that you love yourself?
Yeah.
It could be making yourself look good. It could be making yourself feel good, going to get a massage. You have to identify what is your maybe your own love language to yourself.
Yeah.
Everyone knows about love languages. What is your love language to yourself that you can show yourself? And then obviously once you kind of know what that is, you can put together a few things. But I think that would probably be step 3. But step 2, identifying your own self-love language. Yeah,
no, I really like that. And I think another one we can do, and if you haven't watched the episode on goal setting, but I think we can also emulate some aspects of goal setting and actually putting it into a plan as well. Because self-love and self-care isn't a one-off thing. It's a regular, reoccurring thing that we constantly need to do. And like it's nutritionists, right? That we constantly need to do and replenish with. So I think perhaps, like you said, understand the different elements of self-love and self-care and activities or things that you can do. And then from that, plan out throughout your week or throughout your month or throughout the year, these are the times I'm just going to dedicate to myself. Explicitly, uninterruptedly, I'm sure there are other avenues within your life that you do, whether it be date night or whether you've got you often meet your nan at the care home or wherever it may be. You know what I mean? wherever it may be, sort of plan and again, goal set and just plan out that time. And it doesn't need to be too long as well. It doesn't need to be too long. And it's crazy how a 10-minute read or 20 minutes in the spa can just fully replenish you.
Yeah, re-energize.
For the week, for the month, wherever it may be. So just dedicate a small amount of time for yourself and plan that out and stick to it. So I'm big on being visual. So I've got mood boards on my laptop and on my phone. I've got big whiteboards in my bedroom and in my living room. So I'm always seeing stuff. So if you're quite similar to that as well, and if you want to write it down on your phone or keep it in your notes or wherever it may be and just talk to people about it as well, then they can just more reaffirm the fact that, okay, cool, this is the time, this is the date, and this is the few minutes or hours I'm going to give myself to just recharge my batteries. You know, so I definitely think planning it out as well is
That makes
vital.
sense. While you was talking, I was just thinking that it's so crazy that we know we know when we feel re-energized, but we don't do it like more.
Why do you think that is?
Again, just probably guilt,
Mm.
just feeling like, oh, maybe, you know, I need to spend more time with the kids or spend more time with my partner or I need to go and help my mum out. You're always putting other people first. So when you do take time out for yourself, you feel guilty, but you shouldn't feel guilty because you need to love yourself. So, cool. So that was your step 2, yeah?
Step 3, not step 3.
Step 3, just once you've identified what your love language is, like you just said, I would round it off with turn it into a habit.
Yeah.
It's a habit. It's in your routine. It's in your schedule. You know, once a month, I go and get my hair done, my nails done, everything. If that's your love language. Me, it might be once a month. I know I'm going to go and get my hair cut. I'm going to go to the spa for the day. I'm going to have a massage. So you know, and it also gives you something to look forward to.
Exactly.
There's nothing better than having something to look forward to. So just making a promise to yourself that I'm going to love myself and I'm going to make it so important because I now understand the importance and make it part of my life, my day, my routine, my schedule. I do not have a day where I don't love myself.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely, and adding on to that as well, I also think it would be good to like, not trying to get too blue and too analytical with it as well, but like maybe like tracking it and looking at and seeing the progress as well. Because sometimes you may think, you know, this form of self-love that you're doing, whether like I said, for me, it's like eating or banging out a tub of ice cream or whatever that may be, you know, might not be in your best interest.
Yeah.
And ensuring that this self-love that you're about to give yourself now will definitely be beneficial for you in the future, right now. So this self-love, this short-term gratification I'm giving to myself right now, is banging out this tub of ice cream or doing whatever I may need to do, is it going to benefit me now and consistently as well? And just track that and see, cool, I've been doing X amount of self-love for the last couple of... That sounds a bit wrong, self-love.
Nah, but we know.
We know.
Self-love, it's
keep
all
it PG, keep it PG. But yeah, we've been taking care of ourselves every single week for the past 2 months. Let's sort of track back. Have I been a better person? What are people saying about me? Oh, you know, you got to jump on your step, John. You know what I mean? Oh, you look a bit bright. What's happening? Have you gone away? Have you lost weight? Have you gone to Turkey? You know, like what it may be, like people will start to know and start to different. So track back and see, okay, cool, in the last 2-3 months, how have I been different? How have I changed? For the better or for the worse as well? And I think that's definitely a confirmation to say, okay, cool, this form of self-love that you're giving yourself is the one to do. And again, like you said, it's now a habit. And then we can now start doubling up and other stuff as well. It shouldn't just be just the one thing, right? We should constantly love ourselves.
100%. No, that's good. That's I like that. That's a Freeman special right there. I like that. No, that's really it. Well, hopefully you guys kind of, you know, was able to get some, you know, some tips, some ideas. Hopefully it was able to kind of resonate with you. You know, it's all about coming up with topics that we feel people might benefit from and kind of just relate to. It might be something you're going through yourself. It's like a friend of mine after the last episode, he hit me up and he's like, I felt like you guys were talking to me.
Yeah, wow.
Do you know what I mean? And that for me, that touched something there because this is what this is about. This is about inspiring people,
literally
motivating people, uplifting people. You might be going through something and you hear, I went through it, and you hear how I overcame it or how you overcame it. And you think, let me try, and it works. And it works. So yeah, no, I like the way you ran that off. That was good. That was good. So this is a part of the show called Plug Bites where we pull out something that we've seen on social media, whether it be on X, IG, YouTube, reading a book, something someone said to you that, kind of just inspired us and made us want to kind of share with the world. And hopefully it resonates with you. Hopefully it inspires you. Hopefully it motivates you. And
perfect.
So I'm going to go first on this one. I've got a quote and I pulled it out because I knew we was going to be talking about self-love and self-care. I pulled this one out the bag. Got to clear my throat for this one.
Serious.
Self-care is necessary. It's not selfish to love yourself, take care of yourself, and to make your happiness a priority. It's a necessity. I'm going to read that one more time.
Please, for the people in the back.
Self-care is necessary. It's not selfish to love yourself, take care of yourself, and to make your happiness a priority. It's a necessity.
Wow.
Well, there you go. That kind of just backs up pretty much everything that we spoke about.
Literally.
selfish. It's not selfish to love yourself first. How can it be?
It's not.
If you don't put yourself first, who is going to? So just love. It's not selfish to love yourself. Take care of yourself. I know that could be some of the things that you do or that you identify. They're things that, you're taking care of yourself. It is the grooming aspect. It is you're taking care of yourself, right? And then lastly, just make your happiness a priority.
Yeah.
It's a necessity. Because if I'm not happy, I can't make my kids happy. I can't make my family happy. You can't. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's a serious one. I like that. Flipping, I should have gone first.
Try and beat that.
Yeah, for my plug point on today's episode, it's a nice one, short and sweet. It says, in all aspects of life, hard is the price we pay today for an easy tomorrow. And I feel like for me, it's even going back on the previous episode that we filmed and even on today's one, it's not easy. Nothing good good comes easy, as they say, right? And even with this whole aspect of self-love that on the topic on, like again, just that first point on just being selfish, it's hard. Like you said, we spoke about earlier, why do we not do this enough? Like you said, we feel guilty. So it's obviously evidently like, and even still just crazy just talking about like, why does it even feel hard for me to love myself?
To love yourself. How crazy is that?
Can you it's so crazy, but it's so easy for me to show love even to a random stranger. Why do when we donate or we give food to homeless people on the street, that's a form of love. So why is it easier for me to give a form of love to someone else that I don't know from the street, but me, myself, that I've been in my own skin, in my own clothes for however many years, I struggle with that concept. It's crazy. So that's something I feel like, the audience can sort of take home with and like you said, put you first as a priority in anything, irrespective of your situation. And you'll see how you yourself as a human being will just 10x and just tenfold. And you'll be able to give so much more back because you're not going to be depleted. You're not going to be drained. You're not going to be down. You're not going to be depressed. You're going to be rejoiced. You're going to be full. You're going to be re-energized and able to give your best self to everyone.
And then everyone will benefit from that.
Literally.
Everyone.
Literally.
Cool. No, I like that. That was hard hitting. I think, and even for some people probably hearing that now, they're like, actually, you know what? I think I do need to love myself a bit more because ultimately everyone else will get
you're right.
the love back, So, cool. Excellent. Really nice episode. I like that. So guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
Please do. Comment
on the YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, we are also on Spotify, Apple.
Everywhere. Your mum's house.
Everywhere. Shouting from the rooftops. So again, like I said, if you guys can just, keep showing the support, keep showing the love. Yeah, really appreciate it, man. Definitely.
Love. Peace.
Elevate.